See, if we want to display the message or the value on the screen, so we use the statement called as CO. Okay. So in the previous chapters we have discussed already. Okay. So if I want to print the values of one-dimensional array, so first of all, array is a collection of elements. Okay. So we need to declare the array. So that either we have to initialize the values of the array or we have to give the input values for an array. So how to give input values for an array, that is the next topic. So now, so what we do is like we will initialize the values of an array, then we try to display those values. Okay. So today we have discussed how to initialize one-dimensional array. Okay. Example, see, if we consider A as the array name, then 5 as the size. Okay. So to initialize the values of array, that is one-dimensional array, so put the opening brace, then you start writing the values. You have to look at the data type. So what data type you have declared. So depending on the data type, you have to give the values. So here we have taken the data type as integer. Okay. So I have to do 5 integer values here because this is the size. So within the brackets, what to write, that is the size of an array. Okay. So depending on the size, you have to initialize the values of an array. So with cn statement, we can give the values. Let us discuss later because first we will see how to initialize the values of an array and how to display those values on the screen. Okay, by using cout statement. Okay. So if we have 5 is equal to 6, we can take the values like this. Okay. So you have to put in braces. So you have to consider the values, that is of type integer. So it should be separated by comma. Each value should be separated by comma. So in this we can initialize the values of an array. So if we look at the memory representation of this, okay. So let us consider this one. Okay. So this we can consider it as values part of the array. Okay, and this entire thing is array A. So as I said, so all the elements will be referred by one identifier name, that is nothing but array name. Okay, and so position of each element you have to indicate. So first element position will be 0, second element is 1, 2, 3, 4. So in sequence it will go. So always array position starts from 0, that is the index value. Okay, and it will end at n minus 1. N minus 1 in the sense like here we have considered 5 elements. Okay, 5 minus 1 is 4. Okay, so last element position will be always n minus 1. That is number of elements minus 1, or you can say size minus 1. Okay, so this is there. Now, if I want to display on the screen, so we need to make use of the statement called as 0. Okay. So if you consider the variable which contains single value, okay, which is not an array, so we have written like this. So insertion operator, just variable name. But this is an array. If you write just array name, it will not display the elements. Okay, so you should not think that all the elements are displayed here. So it will not display any value. So what we have to do is in front of array name, you have to write the location of index value within the square bracket. That is called as subscript or index values. So these are the index or subscript values. So you have to mention the subscript value, that is index value. Then only we get the value 10. So when you write the array name with the subscript value, or you can say array name with the index value, so this will display the value 10. That is which is present at the first location. Okay. So array name, subscript value. Okay. So how to put this here? Then if you want to display all the values in the separate line on the console screen, so make use of the endl. Okay. Got to make use of the endl statement. Okay. So similarly, if I want to display the value 20, that is it is present at location 1, that is index 1. So same statement. Cout A is the array name, A of 1. So 1 indicates the location, it is index 1. So endl. So this will display the value 20 on this console screen. That is on the next line. Okay, it will not display on the same line, it will display on the next line. Okay. Similarly, cout A of 2 endl. So this statement will display the value 30 on the next line. So two more values are there, 40 and 50. So we can display by using array name with index 1. And for the last CO statement, if you don't give endel also, it's okay because there are no more values present after that. Okay. So 30, 40, 50. So in this way, we can display the values of an array. Okay. So once again, I tell you. So we have to use the CO statement to display the values on the screen. So CO insertion operator A is the array name. 0 is the subscript value, or you can say index value. So how to read it as A of 0. Okay. And this brackets, you just call it as brackets around. So you need not call square brackets. So in programming language, if you call brackets, it's enough. Okay. And if you come across these type of brackets, that is what we call into bracket in mathematics, we just call parentheses for this. Okay. And so flower bracket are called as braces. You just remember these terms. Parentheses, braces, and for square bracket, you just call it as bracket. So while reading, you read it as A of 0. So A of 0 will display the value 10 because 10 is present at the first location. Okay. And A of 1 will display the value 20. Similarly, A of 2 will display the value 30. A of 3 will display the value 40. A of 4 will display the value 50. So in this way, we can display the values of an array. Now, see here I have taken only 5 values, that's fine. But if you have 100 values or 50 values, then so we need to write all 50 CO statements or 100 CO statements. So that we can avoid. Okay, that means by writing only one CO statement, we can display the values of an array. That is all the elements of an array. So that can be achieved by looping concept. So you have to remember the looping concept. Okay, so that can be achieved by looping concept. So that can be achieved by looping concept. So only I said, see what all the things you learn from introduction to C++ till control statements. How to remember all the concepts. If you remember all the concepts, then further topics will become easy. Otherwise, what you have to do is like, see here, now I will explain for loop. For loop in the sense, how to make use of for loop or while loop or do while loop in arrays. Okay, if you use any loop, you can achieve that concept. Okay, but generally we use for loop because it is easy to write, okay, and easy to understand also. Okay, that means, see here I have taken 5 values, so I have written 5 COs. Now let us consider we have taken 100 values. So if you take 100 values, 100 CO statements we have to write. If you take 1000 values, 1000 CO statements we have to write. So program will be big, okay, and it may be difficult to understand. So in order to avoid that coding, that is lengthy code, we have to reduce the code. That is the main task in technology. Always you have to see how much code we can reduce. Maybe it will be difficult to understand, but once you become perfect with it, you will come to know how to reduce the code. Okay. So now for this code only, I will tell you how to reduce this code. Okay. Just you have to understand it. Okay, I will wait for it out first. See, today's class is very important because we will come to know how to display the elements of an array by using for loop. And you, those who are absent today, please tell your friends to watch the recorded video compulsory. Because from next class, you may not understand anything. To input the values of an array, 2-dimensional array, again to display the values of 2-dimensional array, nothing will get it. Okay, those who have missed today's class. So you consider the statement how we have written. Okay, see out insertion operator A is the array name, subscript value, right? Okay, so if I write see out insertion operator A, okay, then and then see. The intention of writing this code is I want to reduce these statements. Okay, here 5 statements are there. If there are 10 or if there are 50, if there are 100, so I cannot write those number of statements. I have to avoid it. So in order to avoid that, I will write only one statement. With one statement only, I can display all the values. So we'll see how it happens. Okay. See, if you just look at the values what you have written in the square bracket, that is bracket. Index value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. You just observe whether it is changing or not. Okay, in the first statement it is 0. In the second statement it is 1. The third statement it is 2, 4, 5. So it is changing. It is not constant. Okay. See, whenever the values are not constant, that is nothing but a variable. Okay, if the values are constant, if the value is a constant throughout the program, then we can say it is a constant. That is identifier, it is a constant. If the values are changing, that identifier is nothing but the variable. Now, instead of writing either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, what I will do is I will write one variable here. I will not write the constant value directly, either 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. I will write one variable. That variable you can take anything. Say again I'm telling that variable you can take anything. But in arrays, what they are following the method is taking the variable I. It is not a rule. Again I'm telling it's not a rule, and you need not by heart it. You should know why they have taken like that. Because I indicates index. That's all. For that reason they have written. I indicates index. So you take the variable I. So first time this I value should be 0, next time I value should be 1, next time 2, 3, 4 in that way. So from 0 to 1, how many times it is increasing? Only one time. Okay, 0 plus 1 is 1. And from 1 to 2, 1 plus 1 is 2. So each time it is increasing by 1 value. It is not increasing by 2 or 3 or 10. It is increasing by 1 value. So initial value is 0. Okay. Initial value is 0, that is index value 0, and it is increasing by 1. So we have to take I plus plus. Why we have to take I plus plus? It is increasing by 1. If it was increasing by 2, then we would have taken I is equals to I plus 2. Simply don't say I plus 2, not increase by 2. You have to say I is equals to I plus 2. Only for the value if it is increased by 1, we have the facility that I plus 2. Okay, that is increment operator. So starting value is 0 and it is increasing by 1 each time. So we have to take I plus 2. Now, till what value it is increasing, that we should know. Okay, so till 4 it is increasing. Okay, from 0 it is increasing till 4. Okay, but how many elements we have here? Last element position is 4, but how many elements we have? We have 5 elements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements we have. So how to write the condition as I less than 5. Don't write 4, write 5. 5 indicates number of elements. 0 indicates starting position. I plus plus indicates increase by 1 each time. Got it? So any doubts? If you have any doubts, you can ask. You chat and ask.
Because throughout the one-dimensional array, we use this for loop to print, to add values, okay, to display, to input. For all the things, we use the same thing, same concept of for loop. Okay.
Now you put entire thing in for. That's all. Understood? So how to write in for. So for I is equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus, C of A of 5. Finished. So initial value is 0, it will increase by 1 each time and it will go till 5. 5 in the sense, say, I less than 5 means when I value becomes 4, that is the last loop. I value becomes 4. If I value becomes 5, okay, so 5 less than 5, this is false. So it will stop. Okay, so 5 indicates here the maximum value. Okay, so till 4, I value will be reached. So I is equals to 0, I is equals to 1, I is equals to 2, I is equals to 3, I is equals to 4. So this is the code to print the values of one-dimensional array. So you may get this question. It's very, very important. Write the code to print the values of one-dimensional array. So what you have to do is, you take the example like this, just saying A of 5 is equals to, you take some values, and you say these are the initial values. So we can print the values of one-dimensional array by this statement, and we can even print the values of one-dimensional array by writing for. So you should write this one. Okay. See, if you don't write this, it is okay, but you have to write compulsory. For loop with P of A of 5. So this will display it, and output will be same. That is, it will print 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. You need not add this code, you just remember how we have achieved. Initial value is 0 because index value starts from 0, and it will increase by 1 each time, so we have taken I plus plus. If it was decreasing, then we would have taken I minus minus. Okay. And final value, that is maximum value, what we are storing is 5 number of units. So I have to take I less than 5. And one more thing I will tell you how to remember this. See, if initial value is less than final value, initial value is 0, final value is 5, then here I plus plus will come. If initial value is more than final value, then minus comes. That I right. See, one more thing, when I send the notes, in the notes everything will be there, like what I have done tracing and all. What you have to do is, tracing is not compulsory in the exam. Again, I'm telling you, tracing is not compulsory. If you write also, it is not wrong. Whatever it is required, you have to write correctly. So, for example, if we ask for 2 or 3 marks, write the code to display the values of one-dimensional array. This much is right enough. And whatever the tracing present in the notes, you can avoid it. Just for your understanding purpose, I have designed the tracing part. Okay, you look at the notes, you try to understand the tracing, and you should know what to write in the exam. Okay. Say, if suppose if the for loop is like this, I is equals to 5. Okay. You see now what I will do. See, if the initial value is more, then what happens is here greater than symbol will come. Remember. If the initial value is more, greater than symbol will be, and it will become minus x. So these are the tricks to remember for loop. If the initial value is 0, that means less than the final value. It is not a 0, less. You have to say less than the final value. Put less than symbol, write I plus. If the initial value is more than the final value, so this is the initial value what we have written, and this is the final value. Okay. So this is the initial value, this is the final value. If the initial value is more than the final value, then you have to take greater than symbol and you have to say I minus minus. Okay, understood? Now we will consider initial value is less than the final value. So this is the code to print the values of one-dimensional array. Okay, any doubts still here? If you have any doubts, you can ask, or if you want me to explain once again, you can tell me.
Okay, fine.
Okay, now we will consider how to print. Sorry. Okay. So input the values of one-dimensional array. See, overall in computer system technology, 4 things will be there. That's all. Input, output, processing, storage. Okay. So just now we have looked at the output process. Now we look at the input process. To input the values of
One-dimensional array.
Okay. So before we go to the input process of one-dimensional array, let us consider the input process of the variable which stores single value. Okay, variable which stores single value. Because we have 2 things: variable which stores a single value, variable which stores more than one value. So variable which stores more than one value is nothing but an array. Okay, array means it is variable only. It stores the value. It has the option to store more than one value. That's all. Okay. Now if we consider, say for example, int a. Okay, a is the variable. So it is not an array. Just it is a variable. If you write a of some size, then it becomes the array. So this entire thing is array. But if you don't put the size under, this is just a variable. Okay, which stores a single value. It is not an array. Okay, so when we consider this is declaration part, so let me take a, and in the computer memory location, somewhere it will be a variable a. Okay. Now, to input the value for this array, for this variable, to input the value for this variable, we have to consider C in state, not C out state. For output, you consider C out. For input, you have to consider C in state. C in extraction operator. Okay, so this operator is called as extraction. Don't get confused with insertion operator. Insertion operator is used for C out. Extraction operator is used for C in state. Okay, I'll tell you how to remember. Extract the things from the keyboard because input refers to keyboard, right? So extract the values from the keyboard. So it is called as extraction operator. So C in extraction operator A. Okay, this is how we will take the value from the keyword and store it in variable a. Now, if suppose if I have like three variables, okay, A, B, C, three variables. So we have to write this: C in extraction operator B, C in extraction operator C. Or even we can write these three statements into one statement: C in extraction operator A, extraction operator B, extraction operator C. Understood? So either you can write individual statements, or you can combine and say extraction operator A, extraction operator B, extraction operator C. So here we came to know how to store values in the variables which contain single value. Now if we go for an array, okay, let me see how that. Okay. So when you consider the array concept, that is to store many values, when you declare the array, that is data type int, array name is A. For example, if I consider 5 values, okay. One thing you have to remember here is don't initialize here only. Okay, you should not say equals to square bracket values, because we are not displaying here. First, we are giving as an input value. Input value means on the console screen, on the black screen, user will type the value from the keyboard, and those values are stored in the computer memory. So here we are not writing values directly in the program. So what you have to do is, immediately after the declaration of an array, you stop it and you have to put the semicolon. That's all. Okay, A of it. Don't initialize the values. Now we will write the same statement for this. So once this is done, in the memory representation what happens, same thing. You consider the 5 locations. Okay. So starting from 0. So these are the values part. So in the values part, you don't write anything. Okay. Actually, compiler will give some values by default. Let us not worry about it. What compiler will give the value. Let us assume that there are no values. We are trying to store the values. Okay. Now, if I want to give the input value, I have to make use of cin statement. Cin extraction operator. Always you have to say array name of index 0. Array name of index 0. And one more confusion with you people is like endl should be written for only C output. Okay, don't write for cin statement. Don't get confused here. Okay, because it will be habit for you to write endl for C out statement, right? So for cin also you will write. Don't write. Okay, and one more thing, you should be very careful when you are using cin statement and extraction operator. Suddenly don't change the insertion operator. You will get error. Okay. Always for cin statement only extraction operator. For cout statement only insertion operator. Okay. For cout statement don't use extraction operator. For cin don't use insertion operator. Okay. So you end this with semicolon. Okay. Similarly, cin. Okay. A of 1 semicolon. Cin. A of 2. In nowhere I have written endl statement. So if this is an input statement, you should not write endl or backslash. Nothing. Okay. So cin extraction operator A of 4. So you have to stop at 4 because last element position is 4. Okay. So now again this statement I can write in one statement, that is cin extraction operator A of 0. Extraction operator A of 1, extraction operator A of 2, extraction operator A of 3, extraction operator A of 4. Okay. See, whatever it is, see, if you are taking 5 values, I have written 5 times extraction operator and A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3. But if you are taking 100 elements, again same law. You have to take 100 extraction operators and 100 times array name, 100 times subscript values, starting from 0 to 99. So in order to avoid this, so what we can do is, again, same thing you have to follow. Okay, that is cin, okay, extraction operator A of I. Next. Instead of taking a constant value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, you take it as a variable. Same for utilities. For okay, I is equals to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. So this is how we will input the values of one-dimensional array. So this is the advantage of looping. So if somebody asks what is the advantage of looping, you can say this, you can use this example. So when we want to repeat the execution of statements many times, then we use the looping statement. So this statement will be repeated many times. See here I have given 5, it repeats 5 times. If I give 100, it repeats 100 times. Okay, how many values you want to input for the array? So many times it will be repeated. So this code is for to read the input values, read or input the values for one-dimensional array. And if you write cout statement, extract insertion operator, it becomes code for display the values of one-dimensional array. And when you are writing cout statement, one thing you have to remember, that is, see, this code is for input, right? So if you want to change the output, everything is same. So if you write cout statement, one thing what you have to remember is either you use endl, okay? Either you use endl or cout a of I \n, okay? Or cout a of I \t. Any one of these you use. Why? Because if you don't use endl or \n or \t, the values in the console screen will be displayed like this: 10, 20, 30, 40. So it is very much confusion. So this will be taken as one particular value: 10203040 by something like that. But we want to separate it, differentiate it, right? We want the values to be known. So if you use \t, what happens is it will display so 10 space 20 space 30 space 40 like this. At least some space it will be there between each value. If you use endl or \n, it will be displayed on individual values: 10, 20, 30, 40. Remember, whenever you use cout statement, in case of displaying the values, many values, not only in any case, if you are displaying many values, either use endl or \n or \t, then only you will get formatted out. Okay, otherwise it will be displayed. It's not a problem. But for us, it is difficult to understand. Okay. So remaining things we will continue in the next class.